Hello, welcome to this presentation of the PoC 115 called the Protectors. We, for this POC, work with TCTS, Tata Communication Transformation Services, and Spirent, and of course Fortinet, on showing the security problematics of providing security as a service, and especially how do you test security, which is the biggest part of the test. So to make that happen and to work on this for real, what do we set up? The different three companies with an SD-WAN setup going to the public cloud, Azure in that case. So what we have is the simulation of a branch with FortiGate acting, VM FortiGate acting as an SD-WAN controller and security, of course. We are known for that. Where we have two VPN connections to Azure Vineet, one using the normal IPsec tunnel to an endpoint. So here we use Fortinet, of course, because it's our product, but it can be any VPN endpoints. We did not, for that PoC, set up SD-WAN on the other side just to show the flexibility. It's also a very good reason to do it, but here we wanted to show more flexibility. This is what we did here. And then we use the TCTS Virtual Cloud Exchange to use express route and direct connectivity to Azure. Vineet, can you give us a little bit more words on the VCX offering, please?
Absolutely. Thanks, Nicolas. So, Tata Communication Transformation Services, along with Fortinet and Spirent, has created a very interesting service. Now, if you see this setup, what Nicolas was explaining in terms of how a customer can not only leverage and overlay connectivity, with an automated platform from TCTS, but also embed, virtual security functions based on the contextual needs of the network at any given point in time. The beauty of the solution is TCTS, has created this automated platform, which is called, Virtual Cloud Exchange, which is a network as a service platform, which not only helps you to build a connectivity which is automated and controlled by one single portal from the automation perspective, and orchestrated by a lifecycle service orchestrator, which is based on the MEF concept in terms of creating a very seamless journey for our customers. The way V6 works is it kind of integrates different components of the network, as VNF, which is virtualized network functions. We have got security functions from Fortinet, which are embedded as part of the solution. All of them orchestrated and managed by one single lifecycle service orchestrator from the perspective of manageability and seamless approach for customer deployments. We have one single portal where customer can define their policies, can manage what's going across their network, both in terms of security and network. So it makes life simple for them in terms of managing and the life cycle of network and security functions.
I'm a co-editor of MEF 3.0, the Security as a Service, application security in SD-WAN. So it's really the setup that map the MEF 3.0 work that is ongoing. But it is, so far, we just discussed setting up the scene and connectivity. The very POC and the critical part of this POC is to start the thinking on how do you test security, because it's a very different realm than connectivity, where you have bandwidth availability. Measuring security is a very different issue, and this is why we have Spirent in that case, where we have two Spirent agents on both sides, and those Spirent agents can be used to generate real malware, real traffic. This is the FortiGate, a live, real FortiGate, and here I can see exactly which type of malware it was. From the FortiGate point of view, from the firewall, the security layer, it is bad traffic. We only see the traffic generated by the tester. So for us, it's exactly the same as real bad traffic from hackers compared to anything else. We don't tell the FortiGate itself that it is a tester, which makes the test more real. But let Mark explain you in more detail how the test works.
Thank you. Yeah, so Spirent is working on the security assurance component of this proof of concept. And what we're doing is using cyberflood data breach assessment to continuously assess the policies defined on the SD-WAN. So if we take a look at cyber flood data breach assessment, you can see in real time the attacks, the attack flows, the malware flows, and the application flows that we're sending. So here, we showed in the other diagram a little bit ago about the branch office and the Azure agents, and we are just sending attacks across this network, the SD-WAN. Okay. So if we scroll down, you can see a list of all of the attacks that we generated for this specific assessment. We give you all of the details as far as what the attack is doing. If you were to click, we tie into the CVE database. But more importantly, we also have integration into third-party components. So we tie into event management systems to correlate logs off of the Fortinet devices or other next-gen firewalls. But we also tie into service management systems. So it's one thing to say, yes, we're currently blocking, all of the attacks that we're sending in the environment, but there are certain cases where we might not be blocking something. So how do we remediate that? So here I'm just going to switch over to a completed test run, and we give a kind of a high-level summary view of what happened on that particular assessment. And back to the service management component, if we do find things that are not blocked, how do we remediate this? So we can do reporting tickets, so we tie into third-party service management systems such as ServiceNow, Jira, and others, to where we can kick off a workflow for that to be remediated. So notify a security administrator, they can go into the Fortinets or other firewalls and make changes to make sure those are fixed properly and those holes are patched. So that's what Spirent is doing from a security assurance perspective, and we want to be able to continually assess the SD-WAN. As you know, the security environment is continuously changing, so it's very important for us to do this in a continuous fashion to make sure that the end users have a good experience and that threats are not breaching the network. Thank you.
So, just wanted to kind of really summarize in terms of what we're showcasing here. If you see, we kind of, showcasing a complete managed security as a service portfolio with our partners Fortinet and Spirent. Everything that you see on this PoC is production ready, which means that any customer can consume these services on day zero. At the same time, I also want to share that, security as a service has also won a Global award in terms of creating attraction in the market and some of the use cases which is solving from the security perspective. Thanks so much.